Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. After an extremely turbulent road trip, the Tigers are glad to be back home and glad the Indians are in town. The Tigers have won 9 of 12 in this season series. Hopefully more of the same tonight. Maybe this will get the Tigers jump-started. Welcome to Comerica Park. Game 1 in the series featuring the Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Ron Allen. Glad to have you with us here for Game 1 of the series. Tigers come back home, Ron. We all know what happened on the road. They need to shake that off and start winning some ball games beginning tonight.
Well, time to turn the page, no doubt about that. They've got Kyle Lobstein on the bump for them tonight. He has had some success against the Indians. The Indians are playing for a wild card spot. So the Tigers, they're going to have to turn it up and play with a lot of intensity in the next couple of days.
All right, one guy that showed up to the ballpark today with a huge smile on his face was Miguel Cabrera. His numbers have just been off the charts against the Indians.
Really, they're Little League numbers, the numbers that he's been able to post this year against the Tribe. And it really doesn't matter who's on the mound for them, left-hander, right-hander, hard thrower, or soft tosser. .619 batting average this year for Miggy. In 11 games, he's driven in 16, but look at that OPS. It's over 1,600. Miguel Cabrera looking to win another batting title, which would be his 4th. And you know Terry Francona, he will try to pitch around Miguel Cabrera like every other manager does, but they don't have any success doing so.
Doesn't seem to matter. Well, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Matt Shepard. Coming up in this one tonight, hopefully Nick Castellanos will keep it going. 8 hits on the road trip for Nick. Tigers Tribe coming up next. The start tonight for the Tigers, and he is presented this evening by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Lipstein is making his first start at this level since May 23rd. That start was against the Houston Astros. Overall, this season, he's made a couple of starts against the Tribe, and he has beaten them on both occasions. His earned run average at 4.50 in those two starts.
So good to see Lobstein back off the disabled list as he gets the call here tonight against the Indians. Game 1 in this series and this homestand for the Tigers. Jason Kipnis leading it off for the Tribe. It'll be Kipnis, Lindor, and Brantley here in the first inning. And Lobstein missing outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Warm evening here in the Motor City for game 1 in the series. 78 degrees our game time temp. That's lifted in the air to deep center field. Gose is on the run, still going back to make the catch. Just about to the warning track. Here is the rest of the lineup for the Indians. Presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers tonight. And for the Tribe, you saw Kipnis. Lindor having a fabulous rookie season, batting second. Then Brantley, Santana, Gomes, and Chris Johnson in the middle. Almonte Sands and Urshela rounding it out for the Indians. Here is Francisco Lindor batting .308. And he looks at a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. These two teams have not played each other since June the 24th. So it's been a while. That'll back him out of there. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's a good pitch there by Lobstein. Lobstein, not a hard thrower. Fastball tops out at about 89 miles an hour. So you have to make some of the right-handers and left-handers move their feet by going inside aggressively. So nice change piece after the cut fastball inside at 88 to Lindor.
Lindor among one of the best rookies, or is one of the best rookies in the American League. He did not get to the big leagues until June. And he rips that one foul as he goes back into the seats. But he has certainly made his presence felt in this Indians lineup. It's a lineup that has undergone a lot of changes since the last time we saw Cleveland.
Holds his hands really low. How about that? You don't see many guys start with their hands as low as he does.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Lindor.
Which tells me one thing, Mario. He's got outstanding hand strength and hand quickness.
Yeah, I was going to say speed as well. That's rolled to the shortstop. Machado on the backhand throws him out.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. Right to left, you've got Martinez, you've got Gose, and you've got Collins. Miggy was scheduled to be the designated hitter. Victor was scheduled to start at first, but Miggy is there. Kendra Machado at the middle. Castellanos at third. And Brian Holiday getting his first start since being recalled from the minor leagues.
There's Mr. Holiday with the long night last night. McCann catching that 4-hour game, and the Tigers getting home around 4 a.m. He gets the night off. And Holiday gets a chance to play. Here is Michael Brantley, who's having a fine season. .321 batting average.
Real nice two-way player is Michael Brantley, and gets it done on both sides of the ball. And he's hard to strike out too. Very seldom does he strike out. As a matter of fact, the hardest to strike out in the American League.
Brantley is knocking 74 this year.
Won a Silver Slugger last year. Made an all-star team, did Brantley.
Now Lobstein with the 1-1. Bouncing ball fouled at first base.
Indians have struggled this year against left-handed starters. They come in 17-27, 13 games under 500.
Tito Francona was scheduled to start Corey Kluber in the ballgame tonight, but he was a scratch because of a hamstring problem, so they moved up Josh Tomlin, who is going this evening. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Brantley sends a ground ball to the right side, deep in the hole. Lobstein will cover. Nicely done. That'll be a 4-1 ground out. Kinsler gets over there to make the play, and 1-2-3 go the Indians. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first inning. Anthony Gose getting set to lead things off. The Tigers lineup tonight will be facing Josh Tomlin, who is making the start here against the Tigers.
He's only made 4 starts so far this year, has spent the majority of the season on the disabled list, had some shoulder surgery, but he has pitched well. He cuts the fastball most of the time at about 86 to 89 miles an hour, and many of his cut fastballs act like sliders. Also, nice little breaking ball and changeup thrown by Tomlin.
Well, the one stat that sticks out to me, just 2 walks in 26 1/3 so far this year.
Yeah, that means if you're the Tigers hitters, you can go up there and you can be very aggressive early against Tomlin.
Anthony Gose will lead things off for the Tigers, and Anthony looks at a strike 0-1. Really good series against the Royals. He was 5 for 12, had a triple, had a homer. Gose starting to pick it up now here in the month of September. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Tigers leadoff man. Tigers come in at 61 and 72. The Indians have been better, 64 and 68. There's a ball outside, 2-1.
Indians were playing so well just a few days ago is that many people thought they had an outside shot of winning on a wild card. Outside shot.
Yeah, outside, but still, after all the pieces they traded away. There's the drive to center field, base hit. Now the leadoff man on for the Tigers. Here's the lineup for the Tigers here, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers tonight. You saw Gose, Kinsler at second, Miggy at first, JD in right field. Victor Martinez DHing tonight, Castellanos at third base. Since August 19th, he has been red hot. Collins, Holiday, Machado, your bottom 3. Jose Iglesias out of the lineup tonight and probably will be for the next few days at the minimum after getting hit by a pitch yesterday. So here's Kinsler now, leadoff man on for the Tigers. Speaking of hot, Ian Kinsler has been swinging the bat, was 4 for 11 in Kansas City.
He's also got some good numbers against Tomlin. And the one thing that Ian's been doing so well lately, he's been able to hit that ball to right field. And now with Gose being held on, there's a huge hole on the right side of the infield for Ian Kinsler should he try to shoot one in that direction.
He'll shoot it to right field, but it's in the air to Jerry Sands, who moves over. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Sands, Almonte, and Brantley in the outfield. Lindor and Kipnis up the middle, Urshela Johnson on the corners. And Yan Gomes is the catcher. 68 errors committed this year for the Tribe, 4th fewest in the American League.
That'll bring up Cabrera now with 1 on, 1 out. Boy, Miguel up to 361 now. 17 home runs. He had 5 hits in the KC series. This Gose draws another throw. Tomlin is 30 years old, out of White House, Texas, his birth city.
Awfully tough to run on Tomlin. He is paying a lot of attention to Anthony Gose, and even when he does deliver the ball home, he utilizes the slide step, which allows him to get the ball to the plate in less than 1 second, which is almost impossible to run on if you're Anthony Gose and Yan Gomes, your catcher, having the kind of arm that he has.
That'll miss inside. 1-0 the count on Cabrera. He's got a 3-game hitting streak right now.
Also killer numbers this year for Miguel against Tribe pitching. .615 batting average, and he's hit a lot of homers. He's driven in a lot of runs against Cleveland.
The Tigers have done a lot of good things against the Indians this year, having won 9 of the 12 between the two teams.
They really have.
In fact, they won 6 of the first 7 in the season series. But as we mentioned, we haven't seen them since late June. Cabrera waits on the 1-0. In there is strike 1-1.
And when you approach a guy like Tomlin, who throws lots of sinker ballers, if you're a right-handed hitter, you can't try to pull the ball. You have to simply allow the ball to travel deep enough in the strike zone, and you really just try to hit the ball the opposite direction. If he makes a mistake up in the strike zone, you'll naturally pull that ball because he does not throw that hard. But if you try to pull that sinker, you're going to ground out to the shortstop all night long.
One is popped up. The catcher, Gomes, has room, and Cabrera retired. 2 away. As Tomlin retires a dangerous hitter, here comes J.D. Martinez. J.D. didn't have a whole lot going on the road trip. In fact, Martinez just 3 for 19 on the trip. .34 home runs on the season for Martinez. JD's last home run was right here at Comerica in the last homestand against the Angels.
And JD checks in with 34 homers, on pace to hit 40 this year. A nice round number, 40 and 100 RBIs, both in JD's reach.
That would really stick out on the stat sheet, wouldn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Martinez having a career year after really having a spectacular season last year once he was called up from the minor leagues. And going into spring training, I thought there might be some pressure on Martinez to prove that last year was not a fluke, and he's come out and proven that he can be better than he was last year. Tomlin still keeping a close eye on Gose. That'll miss low. 1 ball, no strikes. 19th round pick in the 06 draft by the Indians was Josh Tomlin. Making a comeback from Tommy John surgery. He had that in 2012. Two and 0. JD a couple of hits in the series against the Royals, 2 for 11. And a strike right at the knees. 2-1 now on Martinez.
And good cut fastball there, thrown at 89 by Tomlin. And that ball looked like it was right down the middle, and JD, he kind of watched it go to the outside corner. That's a good pitcher's pitch. It's not the one you're looking for.
Goes 20 steals this year. He's been caught 10 times. Held at first base by Johnson. Now the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on J.D. Martinez. Should he reach? Victor Martinez waiting on deck. Now JD waits on the 2-2. Grounded foul right back to the Tigers dugout.
I told you that Tomlin has a fastball, which is basically his cutter. Anywhere from 86 to 89. He'll throw a curveball about 15% of the time. Likes to use the changeup more to the left-handers than the right-handers.
And again, Gose is chased back to first base.
He's done a very nice job of keeping Anthony Gose out of scoring position.
Gose led off the inning with a single, then Kinsler fly out. Cabrera popped up. And that one missed just a little bit high. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and that means Gose will be on the move here. Full count to J.D. Martinez. Well, another toss back to the bag. Indians coming into this ball game have won 9 of their last 13 games. A lot of familiar names are gone now. Swisher's gone. Michael Bourne's gone. It's a different looking Indians team as it is a different looking Tigers team when these two last met.
Brandon Moss gone.
Right back to the pitcher on a soft line to end the inning. No runs. The leadoff hit. 1 man left. On our way to the second in Comerica. Brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And by Kraft shredded cheese and salad dressing. Make something amazing. Back here at the ballpark as we head to the second inning in Game 1 in this series featuring the Tigers and the Indians. Kyle Obstein had a pretty good first inning. 1-2-3. He'll go back to work and throws a strike to Carlos Santana. It'll be Santana, Gomes, and Johnson facing the Tigers left-hander. Pulled to the left side and through. That's going to be a base hit for Santana. First hit of the night for the Indians. And now Yan Gomes. Gomes batting in the 5 slot is batting just .218 this year against lefties. .223 overall. He does have power. 11 home runs. And he'll look at a strike 0-1. We talked about the fact, Ron, that the Indians made some changes in dealing away a lot of their high-priced and big-name players to kind of rebuild a little bit, and all of a sudden they find themselves on the periphery of the wild card.
Yeah, you know, we were having a conversation about that last night in Kansas City.
This should be a double play ball. Machado, Kinsler, and a 6-4-3. 2 gone.
About the fact that you can trade away some of your veteran players, and all of a sudden you start bringing up some of your younger kids from the minor leagues, guys like Lindor, like their center fielder Almonte. And all of a sudden you get that infusion of energy for your veteran players as we watch Ian Kinsler turn that over. And all of a sudden they've played better baseball since they've made those deals.
Well, the Indians right now in the wild card are 6 out. They have 3 teams ahead of them, but still certainly within striking distance, although it'll be extremely difficult for them as well. But the point is they have made changes, yet really haven't folded the tent. They continue to play.
It's one thing about the Indians under their current manager, Terry Francona. It's basically happened every year. They just don't quit. I mean, they play until the final out of the last day of the year.
Johnson hammers this one down the right field line, but foul.
And talking to a lot of people here that follow the Indians, they say that this team has all of a sudden become a fun team to watch with the infusion of young talent that's come up.
Tito Francona, the manager of the year in the American League in 2013.
He's had managerial stops in Philadelphia and also Boston.
Another ground ball to short. Machado, the rookie shortstop, being tested early here. He handles that one flawlessly, and that's all for the Indians in the second. So good through 2 innings. He's looked good.
Well, we told you that in 2 starts this year, in a span of 2 weeks at the beginning of the year for Lobstein, he beat the Cleveland Indians twice.
Well, here's Victor Martinez now as we go to the Tiger part of the second. It'll be Martinez, Castellanos, and Tyler Collins against Josh Tomlin.
Last couple of at-bats last night against the Kansas City Royals for Victor, very encouraging. He singled sharply through the right side of the infield, and he also grounded out his last time up, which was a pretty good swing, too.
There's a lazy fly ball to center field. Easy play there for Almonte. 1 pitch and 1 out. It's 4 straight retired by Tomlin after giving up a leadoff single to Anthony Gose in the first inning.
He's pitched well for them. Now, they're minus Carrasco right now, one of their really good starting pitchers. Corey Kluber had to be scratched from his start here today. It was a last-minute scratch, too, so Tomlin's given them some really good innings in the last month.
Here is Castellanos. Really good road trip for Nick. 348. And he'll look at a strike.
Yeah, that road trip that just ended, one of the toughest road trips that I can remember in recent memory.
Well, there were times where it was not very pretty. The opponents on the road trip hit 376 against Tigers pitch.
That's just not right.
I mean, those are numbers that you don't normally see. Matt Boyd had a tough go of it yesterday in KC. Could not get out of the second. Andy Wolf struggled as well against the Royals. Here's the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Boy, Tomlin looking pretty good as well here in this game.
It's a real nice pitch for Tomlin. I mean, it's a slider slash cut fastball, and look at it come out of his hands off his fingertips. And that natural action just kind of cuts that ball to the outside corner. You cannot locate a better cutter than that. It's a nice look at it there.
So with 2 outs, here is Tyler Collins. He'll check his swing and take strike 1. Tyler had a really good series against Kansas City offensively. Was 6 for 12 against the Royals, and that has jumped his average up to 271. Fouled away 0-2. What do you have on Collins, Rod? Has he shown enough at least to be in the picture next year for an outfield position?
He can play at this level. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's got power in his bat. He's got nice hand-eye coordination. Defensively, he can play in center field, and he can play on the corners. He runs the base as well. There's no doubt that he can play at this level. And the only question is he an everyday player, or is he a guy that you just give at-bats to against right-handers? And so far, Brad really hasn't given him many opportunities against left-handers, so we don't have that answer yet. But he can definitely play in the big leagues.
Foul that one off to stay alive. Collins, a couple of stints with the Tigers this year. He was .375 on the road trip. A couple of defensive mental lapses, though, on the road trip, and that certainly is a part of the evaluation system as Brad Ausmus and the rest of the Tigers staff evaluates what is going to happen next year, and really how they approach the offseason as well.
And there's going to be some changes. There's no question about that when you have a season like the Tigers have had.
Here's the 2-2. That's in the air to center. Chasing Almonte back. He has room, and a 1-2-3 inning for Tomlin. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. Stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg Burritos. Bottom three coming up for the Indians. It'll be Almonte, Sands, and Urshela. Lobstein back to work, and he misses outside. 1-0. First start in the big leagues for Kyle since May 23rd. He allowed 3 runs in that start in 5 2/3 innings. The very next day went on the DL with a sore shoulder.
And you got to be careful here with Almonte, especially in this particular count. 2 balls, no strikes. It's a predictable fastball count, and we've been told that he doesn't miss many fastballs. He got a lot of bat quickness.
Well, his bat splintered there. He'll get a new one. Almonte coming over from the Padres organization in the Mark Zepchinski deal. 25 now for Lobstein, 16 of those strikes. Here's the 2-1. Like he wanted to drop down a bunt. forcing Castellanos in tied at third.
Tigers need to get a lot of length today out of Lobstein, because by and large, other than Justin Verlander in his starts, that bullpen has been used a lot.
It'll be a leadoff walk for Almonte. Time for a game break now. Here's Matt Shepard.
Thank you, Shep. How about the balls in that ballpark, man? Do they go far or what?
They go, man. That's why I'm saying it's really an advantage for a team like the Blue Jays that are really power oriented to play in that ballpark. I know Kansas City is really good at home. The numbers prove that. But going into Rogers Center is going to be no joke for anybody. Jerry Sands will step in here.
They got the whole country behind them in Toronto.
Yep, they do. There is no doubt about that. Runner goes on 0-1. It's driven in the air deep into left field. Collins going back to the track, looks up, and that ball is going to go. It's over the wall for a 2-run homer for Jerry Sands.
Jerry Sands just continues to beat up on Tigers pitching. He had a series to remember the last time we saw Cleveland down in Cleveland, and he has picked up right where he left off. It looks like a changeup. That's down, but it's right in the happy zone of Sands, and he goes down to get it, and he's able to hit it out of the ballpark.
How about this now? Jerry Sands is 5 for 10 against the Tigers this year with 6 RBI.
Yeah, I told you he was good against them.
You were not kidding. Weren't they chanting his name?
They sure were.
Had the Jerry Sands chants going.
No, they just said Jerry.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry.
Right. I forgot about that.
Sounds better that way.
There's a base hit to left field for Urshela.
All of a sudden it's time for Lobstein to make some type of an adjustment here, because apparently the last couple of hitters have made adjustments against him.
It'll bring up the top of the lineup now. Jason Kipnis. It brings us to the Bernstein advantage, the pitcher-batter matchup between these two. And Lobstein's had good success against Kipnis. Only 2 for 12. 3 straight have reached here for the Indians in the third. 2-run homer by Jerry Sands. He shows bunt. Kipnis takes outside.
And Kipnis has had a good year. He made an all-star team again for the second time in his career. Also made an all-star team back in 2013. He was player of the month in the American League in the month of May. And he's hitting .316.
Flied out to center field his first time up. Urshela draws a throw. Kipnis back in the month of June had a 20-gamer. That was a career high. It was the longest hitting streak the Indians had since the 22-gamer by Brantley a couple of years ago. He'll go foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kipnis had a huge month of May. Hit over 400. Was the American League's player of the month back in May.
Hit 429 that month.
How do you hit 429 for a month?
He did it.
A month. Lobstein ready with the 1-1. No sign of bunt there. Ball 2 outside. 2-1 on Kipnis.
And Terry Francona might be in a managerial mood tonight where he wants to stay aggressive. Might see Urshela on the move here via the hit and run.
Well, Monte was on the run when Sands hit the homer. And again, he shows bunt. This time he takes it outside. 3-1. Lobstein made 6 rehab starts between Toledo and Lakeland. There's Lindor waiting on deck. Here's the 3-1. On the outer edge, up with the right hand goes Adrian Johnson. Full count on Kipnis. 3-2 is fouled back out of play.
We're talking about Kipnis and the fact that he made an all-star team once again this year. His 2015 numbers really, really good. 317 with a 147 hits, 147 hits, 50 extra base hits.
The 3-2 again is bounced slowly to the right side. Miggy spins, throws to second, one. That'll be it. Kipnis born in the fielder's choice.
Miguel is such a confident thrower at first base, and we always talk about his athleticism and his offense, and he doesn't get near the credit for his defense. I meant to say his offense, not athleticism, but that's a nice firm throw to Machado. And Miggy's got a really good arm and very accurate with his arm too.
We'll bring up Lindor. Well, we got an early look at Lindor when he was first called up. He got his first big league hit here in Detroit, his first major league homer as well. Throw back to the bag. First home run was hit against Buck Farmer.
Indians all of a sudden started playing a lot better defense when they called up Francisco.
We kept hearing his name over and over and over the last couple of years. He was down on the farm. He was going to get here soon. They just weren't ready or sure when he would be ready. And well, apparently they waited just long enough because he's made a splash. Another throw back. I think part of the process as well, Rod, is for each organization to know when your young players are ready to get to the big leagues.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The Indians, they were playing so poorly earlier in the season, they had no choice but to call him up to see what they had. They knew they had a good player, and he was playing very well in the minor leagues. And so they knew that he was ready to make that jump.
Pulled to left field, base hit. That'll move Kipnis to second.
We were talking about his first major league hit here on June 14th, and it was funny because he got the hit and the sniper shot him once he got around first base, and he tried to blame Miguel Cabrera for interference. So the young man's got a sense of humor too. And he goes back to the bag and he's pointing to Miggy and telling the umpire that he tripped me. And Miguel's like, no way.
Wasn't even close. Lindor, his first major league hit here.
First of many that he is going to collect. It's got the old-fashioned stirrups on too.
I love it, man. I love that look. Here's Brantley now. More danger here for Lobstein. Ball one low. Indians already have 4 hits now in the ball game. Brantley bounced out his first time up. These are situations where he excels. 339 with men in scoring position.
And the one thing that Lobstein's trying to get Brantley to do here is to roll over something so he can get a double play to get out of the inning. And Brantley, really good hitter, but he has grounded into 13 twin killings this season. Ooh, nobody been hotter than him.
Not since the beginning of August. 394.
And we thought Kinsler was hot.
Here comes the 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brantley.
I guess Lindor's found himself a nice new friend down at first base. And Mickey like, get away from me.
Hey, you didn't trip this time, he said.
Mickey remembered him taking that tumble.
1-2 on Brantley. Brantley sends a ground ball foul down the first base line. Talked about his background many times, about the fact that his dad played in the major leagues. Mickey Brantley, who is a good hitter in his own right. I think Michael, though, has kind of taken it to the next level. He is a terrific hitter and really still, I think, in some ways goes unnoticed around Major League Baseball. Now, yes, he was among the MVP voting last year, deservedly so.
You make a great point, though. I still think that there are quite a few people out there that really don't know just how good Michael Brantley is.
And Brantley's going to be called out there, trying to check his swing.
He doesn't strike out very often.
2 gone.
Adrian Johnson made the call. He is the home plate umpire this evening.
First strikeout for Lobstein. That'll bring up Carlos Santana. Santana had a single, but was erased on a double play earlier in the game. Ball 1. Santana hits a little bit better against lefties, 250 versus left-handed pitching, 224 against righties. And that is pulled foul down the third base line. That was the 25th pitch in this inning for Lobstein. He had 25 to get through the first 2 innings. One ball, 1 strike.
Good pitch. Outstanding fastball. 88 miles an hour, the last pitch that Santana looking for. Can't be afraid to go in. Might not be all bad to go in there again, because he's looking for something soft away now. Ooh.
Pulled down the left field line. He is going to yank that thing over the wall and foul.
Told you he was looking for something soft.
And he just got out in front of it.
That's why you go back inside with another fastball, because that's the last thing that Santana was looking for. A back-to-back fastball from Lobstein.
Did not miss by much. So Kyle got away with one there. 1-2 the count stays on Carlos Santana. Enjoying an 11-game hitting streak now, Santana. And that one's popped up left side of the infield for Machado. A much better result. That'll end the inning. They will get 2 runs and a home run by Sands. And we go to the bottom of the third here at Comerica Park. Gage, the former Detroit news writer who was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame this year, and they honored him, Rod, before the game. They gave him a Tom Gage jersey, and deservedly so. What a great man, great writer, and it was good to see him being honored today.
When I played here in '84 for the Tigers, Tom Gage was the beat writer for the Tigers at that time, and I've gotten a chance to know him over the course of the last 13 years as an announcer here, and what a fine gentleman, and well-deserved.
The 36 on the jersey representing the 36 years in the career of Tom Gage. So again, congratulations to Tom. The Tigers now have some work to do. They're down by a couple of runs as we play here in the bottom of the third. And for the Tigers, it'll be Brian Holiday to lead it off.
One thing Tom Gage was, he was very fair. He wrote the story, but he was very fair.
High fly ball, left center field. It's going to be playable for Almonte. Nope, it's the left fielder instead. Brantley, one gone. Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think a lot of players felt that way about Tom Gage as well. He always was at the ballpark the very next day, no matter what he wrote, positive or negative.
That's the key. That is the key. Get to the ballpark.
Here is Dixon Machado.
We had an idea that Dixon Machado was going to get called up here today after Iglesias was hit on his right thumb yesterday attempting a bunt in Kansas City. As soon as Iglesias went downstairs in the clubhouse, Machado was taken out of the game in Toledo, so he got word early he was coming up. You said he was playing first base, didn't you?
Last night he was playing first. Versatility could be a good thing. Machado, though, has been known in the minor leagues as a very good defensive shortstop. There's a swing and a miss.
Ooh, nice pitch. Here's the Iglesias injury. He attempted to bunt, and that tailing fastball at 93 from Volquez got him square. I saw him last night after the game, and man, he was still in a lot of pain. He was in a lot of pain when we arrived here at 4 a.m.
Yeah, we pulled into the parking lot at the same time today, and I asked him how he was feeling, and he said, well, you know, it still hurts. They're going to take further tests to see, you know, what shows up. Hopefully it is not broken. The x-rays were negative. But to be certain, you know, he's going to take at least a couple of days to get that thing better if there is no break. So in the meantime, it's an opportunity here, at least tonight, for Dixon Machado.
It's his throwing hand, so he has to get better before he can even throw a baseball, let alone swing a bat.
That's driven to center field, hit pretty good. Almonte, though, will get back there.
Almonte started taking them little short, choppy steps, didn't he?
He did.
He took off. He took off like he was just cruising, and all of a sudden, he started taking them short, choppy steps to get there.
The uh-oh steps. He got there, though. 2 gone. Here's Anthony Gose. Gose had a single in the first inning. But there was a time or two in your career where all of a sudden you were cruising, and all of a sudden the choppy steps started coming.
Yeah, but most of my play was on the corners, though. I mean, left and right field. When I played some winter ball, I did get a chance to play some center field. But you're absolutely right. Sometimes you just don't know off the crack of the bat what that ball is going to do. Here's Almonte taking off on that ball off the bat of Machado. You know he was playing him very shallow anyway because Dixon doesn't have a lot of power.
0-2 on Gose. That's sprayed foul, back out of play.
When you're playing outfield, man, you really have to concentrate. I mean, you can't take bad at-bats out into the outfield with you because you really have to see the ball off the crack of the bat because you're so far away. And then it's tough enough to determine whether that ball's got some top spin, whether that ball's going to carry over your head, whether there's some slice to it. I mean, you really have to pay attention as an outfielder.
That's why we were talking last night when the first 2 innings of the game, it seemingly took a couple hours to play, and how difficult it must be, especially for the outfielders, to stay engaged. 0-2 on Gose. 2-0 Indians have the lead. We're in the third. And Gose takes the ball high. 1-2. Tomlin allowed a single to Gose in the first and nothing since. He's retired 8 straight. So Anthony now is 6 for his last 13 when you count this game here tonight and his series in Kansas City. Really the first time in his career he has played as much as he has played this year. In the month of September has a tendency to catch up to some guys.
I think the Tigers, however, were determined to see what kind of player Anthony was going to be and what he is.
Down he goes on the swing and miss. 1-2-3 for Tomlin, and we go to the fourth.
Took quite a bit of time off, but he's been throwing the ball well, especially his last couple outings. He's throwing the ball better than when he first started his rehab. You know, he's built up to 95 pitches right now, so we're just hoping he can come out and give us 5 or 6 good innings, and we'll take it from there.
The words of Jeff Jones, the Tigers pitching coach, against, or talking about, I should say, Kyle Lobstein, who is making the start here, his first one in quite a while, since late May.
Well, he's probably comfortable with Brian Holiday behind the plate, because I'm sure that Brian Holiday caught him down in the minor leagues when he was making one of his 6 rehabilitation starts. And so Brian getting his first start behind the dish since coming up from the minors a few days ago.
They have Yan Gomes, Chris Johnson, and Abraham Almonte here in the 4th inning. Indians lead 2-0 on the home run by Jerry Sands. That'll miss low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I like the fact that Lobstein continues to go inside with that cutter or that 4-seam fastball, and he's going in there with a purpose.
Here's the 2-1 pitch.
But when you do go inside aggressively, when you do go back outside with that next pitch, breaking ball, or whether it be the changeup, you've got to make a quality pitch. You have to get it down. And he left that one up to Gomes. Gomes is dangerous. He's got some sock in his bat.
He'll drive that one to right field, but it's straight at J.D. Martinez. 1 gone. Let's check in with Johnny Kane now, who has more on a good cause happening this weekend. John.
Well, that it is, guys. It's part of the weekend of giving here at Comerica Park. The Tigers have teamed up with the Baseball Foundation of Tomorrow, also with Fox Sports Detroit, 97.1 The Ticket. They're accepting donations of new and gently used baseball and softball equipment to help the youth baseball programs here in Michigan. So it's right outside Gate A, which is in front of the D Shop. 2 hours before the game, up into the 2nd inning, you can bring by any of those donations that you want. You don't have to have a ticket to the game. If you just had a glove laying around, you said, you know what am I going to do with this? Bring it by, pay it forward a little bit, and help support some of the youth programs here in Michigan, guys.
Excellent, Johnny. Thanks very much.
Johnny Kane got that show hair going tonight, didn't he?
It was waving through the wind, to be sure. 2 gone as Johnson flies to center field. That'll bring up Almonte. Well, Lobstein now has turned things around after a slow third inning. Gave up the 2-run homer, also stranded a couple of other runners.
And be careful here. Until Almonte, excuse me, on first pitch fastballs.
Almonte ended up walking in the third and scored on the Sands homer. Now waiting around that time, he fouled it back 0-1. Almonte was batting just .204 with San Diego prior to the trade that brought him to Cleveland, and a strike called. The count is 0-2. Here is Lobstein's 0-2 pitch. It's outside, wouldn't chase. Now the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Almonte in his Indians debut after the trade, well, he broke in with a bang with Cleveland, 4 for 5 in his first game with the Tribe. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and he thought about it. 3-2.
Yeah, we were talking about the Indians and some of the deals they made in the last couple of years. Murphy, Moss, Swisher, Bourne. Those deals just didn't quite pan out for them. Those guys weren't the same players in an Indians uniform that they were when they were wearing other teams' uniforms.
Almonte punched out of there, doesn't like it, and he's letting Adrian Johnson know about it. 1, 2, 3, 4th for Kyle Lobstein. At Comerica Park. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag Detroit DataStrong Fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Tigers trying to get the offense going now as we head to the 4th. It'll be Kinsler.
Those little cuties having a wonderful time at the ballpark here tonight.
It's a great night.
Got to go back to school next week, right? Shortly after that.
Are they? Yeah. It's that time of the year again. There's a ball low and away to Kinsler. Some are already back to school.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's been a long time since you had to.
I thought Labor Day was like the official, like kids go to school after Labor Day.
Maybe so. I don't know. It's been a while since our kids have. Well, they're in college now. We'll just leave it at that. Time flies, man. Time flies.
It does.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ian Kinsler. Swing and a miss, and he had a hefty cut.
Off-speed pitch there. Good off-speed pitch thrown by Tomlin. It had Ian fooled. Ian came in with good numbers against Josh. 5 for 10 in their prior meetings.
Here's the 1-2. Tried to bust him inside that time, but missed, and the count goes 2-2. Only one Tigers hit so far, the single by Ghosts in the first. The 2-2. Pulled to the shortstop Lindor. Kinsler out by a step. One away here in the fourth. Well, Comerica Park becomes a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars nights coming up September 19th. Tigers battling the Royals at 7 to 8 p.m. Get a special ticket package which includes a Tigers Star Wars t-shirt exclusively at tigers.com/Star Wars. No Paul is going to be all dressed up again for Star Wars night. Here is Cabrera. And Miguel looks at a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, Miggy's going up there and he's looking for one pitch and one pitch only. And it's probably that two-seam fastball that at some point in time Tomlin's going to try to run inside on Miggy.
605 against the Indians this year. That's fouled back, 0-2.
Is that good?
That's good. It's not as good as 619, which it was when he came in.
It's the Little League numbers.
No balls, 2 strikes. When you're batting 600 against the team, it's stunning they would ever pitch to you again.
And they've played quite a bit.
They have. Now the 0-2. Ooh, he got him with a bender on the inside part of the plate. Miggy knew it.
Tomlin threw this breaking ball at 76 miles an hour after back-to-back cutters at 90. He froze Miguel with this really nice curveball. It rolled off the fingertips very nicely with wonderful location.
Got the benefit there of the call on the inside part of the plate. Third strikeout for Tomlin. Here's J.D. Martinez. He'll go down the right field line, foul. Two runs on 4 hits for the Indians. No runs on 1 hit for the Tigers. Tigers will have a homestand here that features the Indians and then the Rays come to town. It'll be a 6-gamer. Yanked foul down the left field line, 0-2.
And second time through the batting order, Tomlin started to incorporate that curveball at a lot slower pace than he was throwing it earlier in the game.
The 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Martinez.
If you're a pitcher on both of these sides here tonight and you don't have a blazing fastball, because Tomlin doesn't have an aggressive fastball, nor does Lobstein, but both guys have not been afraid to pitch inside aggressively here today.
Comes inside again.
It just opens up the outside corner, which is where ultimately you want to get the hitter out anyway.
Victor Martinez waiting on deck. Here is Tomlin's 2-2. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
He might go back to that slow curveball here again to J.D. Martinez. He has a lot of confidence in that pitch. Going fastball.
And he missed with it, ball 4. He had retired 11 straight before that walk. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. 2-out walk for J.D. Martinez. Bring in Victor now. Victor flied out on the very first pitch that he saw back in the second. The Indians will take advantage of Victor's lack of speed. They have their second baseman Kipnis way back into the outfield grass. That's how they play the shift. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. Victor came in just 188 in the second half. Cleveland got a couple of runs on a 2-run shot by their number 8 hitter Jerry Sands. That was back in the 3rd. Meanwhile, just one Tigers hit tonight against Tomlin. The 0-1. Missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I want to go back to that last pitch to J.D. Martinez. Mario, look at Yan Gomes, the catcher here. How he's shaking his head to the pitcher a couple different times, 3 different times. He wanted J.D. Martinez to think he was going to get a breaking ball, and he was going to try to sneak that fastball by him. And had that fastball been over the plate, I don't think J.D. would have been able to react to it, because in the back of J.D.'s mind, he was thinking breaking ball because of the leadership skills there of the catcher Gomes.
Agree. I think he had that ball caught the plate, he would have been out. Here's the 1-1 lifted toward left field. That'll send Brantley on the move all the way to the warning track. And the Tigers are done here in the 4th. On our way to the 5th, at Comerica, still 2-0 Tribe. Brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here in Comerica Park on a gorgeous night for baseball here in the Motor City. 2-0 in favor of the Indians as we go to the 5th inning. Back to the hill goes Kyle Lopstein. He will face Jerry Sands, then Giovanni Urshela, and Jason Kipnis. A couple of runs on 4 hits for the Indians. The 2 runs off the bat of this guy right here, Jerry Sands. 2-run shot. 2 balls, no strikes on Sands. 14 home runs down at Columbus this year. He'll drive this one to right field, hit pretty good. Back on the move is Martinez. JD won't get it up against the wall, and Jerry Sands taking the turn. He's going to try for 3. Sands is on his way to third base with a triple as he continues to torture the Tigers.
He is halfway to the cycle here tonight, and he's got the 2 toughest ones out of the way. That would be the big fly, and now a triple out there in Triple's alley. That's a little cut fastball at 88 that stays down, and really the identical pitch that he hit out of the ballpark.
So the Indians have the leadoff man at third base with nobody out. Here's Giovanni Urshela trying to score him. Tigers keep the infield back here in the 5th inning in a 2-0 game. And it's popped up foul. This will head back in the seats. That is the 5th hit of the night for the Indians. Urshela had a single in the 3rd, and that snapped an 0 for 10. get back out of play 0-2. They called up Urshela from AAA back in June. This season got off to a slow start, missed all of spring training, had a back injury. In the air, slicing down the right field line, foul. They had Chisenhall playing some third base earlier this year. They've moved him to the outfield.
Yeah, he's playing outfield exclusively these days. No more third base for Chisenhall. I thought he was a pretty good third baseman, though.
I did too. Maybe they feel this is an opportunity for him to keep the bat going consistently. It worked for Alex Gordon, I guess.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
The 0-2. Outside, 1-2.
Worked for Alex Gordon in a big way.
Yeah, a few gold gloves.
All-star.
Meanwhile, 70 now for Lobstein. Low and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Urshela. Waiting on deck, Jason Kipnis. The top of the order for Cleveland. Pulled foul. Lobstein, before he went on the disabled list, had allowed 3 or fewer runs in 6 of the 8 starts he made this year. So there just seemed to be a theme. When Kyle took the mound, he kept you in the game.
He did. I mean, because you remember when the season started, there was no Justin Verlander. So they needed someone to go out and pitch some decent baseball, and he was doing that.
Just off the plate now, 3-2.
There's Justin. He's been outstanding in his last, what, 7-8 outings?
At least. Now the 3-2. Back up the middle. That's going to get into center field. A soft single to score the run. And the Indians now lead 3-0.
Pretty much all the damage done here today by the last 2 guys in the batting order. Urshela and Sands. They're 4 for 4. That one was cued right up the middle.
So Urshela gets his 16th RBI. 3-0 Cleveland. Still nobody out. Here's Kipnis. Ball 1. That is the 6th hit now for the Indians off Lobstein tonight. Swing and a miss. Tigers now will get the bullpen working a little bit. They had hoped to get, I don't know, about 90 pitches or so out of Lobstein. And Kyle right now about to throw his 77th. Missed it inside.
And Tigers bullpen tired. Yeah, they were used quite a bit on that last road trip. As a matter of fact, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would almost guarantee that they pitched more innings out of the bullpen than they got from their starters.
Oh, I think you're right. In the air toward left field. Collins going back all the way to the warning track. First out of the inning. Well, the Red Wings 2015 Hockey Fest returns to the Joe Louis Arena Sunday, September 13th. Enjoy an unforgettable day of hockey-related activities, including a chance to meet current players and Red Wings alumni. For Hockey Fest tickets, call 313-471-7575 or DetroitRedWings.com.
Hockey season's almost here.
It's just about here, man.
Football season is here. Yeah, but we got 29 more to go.
Here is Lindor. Ball 1 to Francisco. Single and a ground out for Lindor. He was born in Puerto Rico, but when he was 12, his parents moved to the Orlando area in Florida. pull down the left field line. That is looking like trouble. It's going to get down and up against the wall. Collins plays the carom. They'll send the runner to third base. As Urshela moves up to third, and it's going to be a double for Lindor.
The one thing about Lindor is the fact that he is a switch hitter, but his swing is basically identical from both sides of the plate. This guy is a really good-looking young prospect as Jeff Jones makes his first visit of the mound here today. It's a cut fastball that just does not get inside. And you could see that Lindor able to pull the hands inside, and then once he gets to contact, he kind of just releases that right hand to allow that ball to get through the bat, to get through the zone.
And the follow through hit Holiday in the mask.
Lindor hasn't been here very long, but he is going to get some serious Rookie of the Year consideration because of what he has been able to do in the little bit of time that he has spent in the big league uniform. What did we say, June 14th is when he got his first major league hit?
Yeah, in June. So it's not like he spent a couple of weeks in the minors and then got here in April. Here's Michael Brantley now. Runners at second and third with only one out. Swing and a miss by Brantley.
And Tigers are already trailing by 3 runs in this game. You would think that Brad would consider playing the infield in. I know Brantley's an outstanding hitter, but you can't afford to fall behind any further than you've already fallen behind.
Lobstein's 0-1. Sliced in the air toward left center field. Ghost is on the run. So is Collins. It's going to drop between them. 1 run will score. They're going to hold Lindor at third. That'll be a double and an RBI for Michael Brantley, and it's now 4-0 Cleveland. Urshela scores on the play. Brantley has his 75th RBI. That is his first hit tonight. Still only 1 out for Santana. Gene Lamont gets on the telephone. They've had Drew Verhagen warming up. Santana's going to get the free pass, it appears. Yan Gomes waiting on deck. Leadoff triple by Sands. Urshela scored him with a base hit. 1 out later, a pair of doubles. And already now for the Indians, a total of 8 hits.
It's the 7th time that Santana has been walked intentionally this year.
So he will load the bases now. That's going to bring Brad out. With Yan Gomes due up, they want Verhagen to enter the ball game. And Drew's been really good. He'll come in here with the bases loaded and 1 out. It's a Wellside Windows pitching change here at Comerica. We'll be back.
Sands 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. That got the Tribe on the board first. And then Sands, he was right in the middle of this again. He tripled, and then he was driven home by Urshela. And then it's Michael Brantley with a runner on 3rd, less than 2 outs. He lands one softly into center field for a double.
Well, Drew Verhagen now is coming out of the bullpen for the Tigers, and yes, he's been awfully good. This will be a tough spot, though. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Probably the toughest spot that Verhagen has been in since he's come from the big leagues. So to the big leagues, so we'll see how he handles it. He's got a big arm, fastball, gets up to 95, 96. He's got a breaking ball and a changeup. He's a starter by trade, so he has an assortment of different pitches.
Verhagen is not allowed a run in his last 8 2/3 innings. Right now, the runners on the bases belong to Kyle Lowry.
And there's no doubt that Yan Gomes will be looking for a first pitch fastball with runners in scoring position and only 1 out.
No grounded foul.
He got that fastball, just missed it. Real good location there, thrown by Verhagen. He's pretty tall, about 6'5", throws straight downhill. He can create a really nice angle with that high 3/4 arm slot.
You got Lindor, you got Brantley, and you got Santana on the bases right now for the Indians. Here's the 0-1. Fouled away 0-2. They'll get back in the seats and ricochet around. Tigers in this game have been out hit 8-1. Indians trying to break it open here with the bases loaded. Low ball 1. Tigers on the road trip had to use 22 2/3 innings out of their bullpen. In the 3 games in Toronto and 3 games as well in Kansas City. Lobstein coming out of the game here in the 5th. Breaking ball, and he just got a piece of it to stay alive.
If you're going to throw that breaking ball, if you're Verhagen in this particular situation, you got to make sure you bury it, especially after you're getting ahead of Yan Gomes. No balls and 2 strikes. You don't want to make a mistake. Make him earn it.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled away. Indians came in having won 9 of their previous 13 games. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead on the home run by Sands in the 3rd. They've added 2 more here in the 5th, and they're still batting. Again, the 1-2. Ooh, he hit him with the bases loaded to force in a run. Lindor will come in to score. Gomes is hit by the pitch, and Verhagen had him down on the count too. That'll make it 5-0.
That's a tailing fastball, and it looked like it got Gomes right on the left wrist. Gomes probably does not like the Tigers very much. Didn't he land on the disabled list after a Rajay Davis slide earlier this year?
Yes, sir. It was, I believe, in the month of April. And I put him on the DL for a while, and now he gets plunked here with the bases loaded, bringing up Chris Johnson. Rolled foul. 0-1. Johnson fly out, ground out. Michael Bourne and Nick Swisher were traded on August the 7th to Atlanta, and they got Johnson in return in that deal. Here's the 0-1. Drilled toward left field on a line. Collins coming in, makes the catch. Runner will tag and hold. Not deep enough to score him. Friendly stays put. 2 gone. Hey, tomorrow night, Tigers take on the same Indians at 7:08. Fans are invited to stay after the game for a fireworks spectacular. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Two away now for Almonte. This will be the 9th man to bat in the inning. Almonte had a walk his first at bat, struck out looking in his last at bat. He's a switch hitter, turning around left-handed now.
Yeah, this is his better side. Hitting .313, batting left-handed. He was only batting $1.50, batting right-handed.
Strike call, 0-1.
And now batting .194.
He'll get back out of play, and now Verhagen ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Indians gave up Mark Zebchinski, a reliever, to get Almonte. Here's the 0-2. Driven foul. Almonte's numbers much better with the Indians. He was hitting only .204 with San Diego. Checked it. Doesn't look like he went. He did not. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the native Dominican, Abraham Almonte. Broke in with Seattle and spent the last couple of years with the San Diego Padres. Here's the 1-2. Checked it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Doug Eddings said he did not go. Verhagen in place of the starter Lobstein, who left with the bases loaded here in the 5th inning. Here's the 2-2. Now it's 3-2. It rolls away from Holiday, who can't find it, but it's behind him. Full count now. So this at bat just got a whole lot more interesting. The runners will be on the move here on 3-2. Sands waiting on deck, and he started the inning with a triple. Just getting a piece to stay alive. Almonte.
A 95-mile-per-hour heater there thrown by Verhagen. Up until this point to this season, Verhagen had only inherited 2 base runners, and neither had come around to score.
Verhagen made his major league debut last July as a starter against these Indians. And he lost in ball 4 to force in another run. So Verhagen has hit a batter and walked a batter with the bases loaded. That'll be charged to Lobstein. And now Sands will bat for the 2nd time in the inning. 6-0 ball game. Almonte gets his 15th RBI. Big night so far for Sands. Homer and a triple. Strike 1. This has been a 40-pitch inning now for the Tigers. 17 of them for Verhagen. a strike. Had his knees locked. 0-2 on Jerry Sands. There you go now. 6 for 11 against the Tigers in just 4 games this year. 6 RBI. Low smothered there by the catcher Holiday. Sands down in Columbus had 14 home runs, was hitting .287. He's had 3 different stints with the Indians this year. The 1-2 missed again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hagen got ahead of the last hitter Almonte and then ended up walking him.
And Sands has already had a really big day. He's already homered, he's already tripled, and he has really good numbers in the limited playing time this year against Detroit pitching.
Bouncing ball. Miggy, nice play. Hagen covers, and they will leave the bases loaded. However, they get 4 runs. And the Indians now lead 6-0. Tigers baseball presented by the Bell Tire.
Never doubting yourself. I mean, even when I was struggling, I get asked, what's going through your mind? How are you feeling? Is this ever going to end? I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm going to start hitting. I'm going to be where I want to be, and then I'm going to have the same interview when you guys ask me, oh, well, you're hitting the ball well, so, what's changed and what's this? And to be honest, just nothing. It's just consistent at bats and getting pitches to hit.
Well, the words of Nick Castellanos and some of the ups and downs he's gone through this year, and he brings up a great point, Rod. I mean, guys at this level, they get to this level, and you can speak to this. I mean, you need supreme confidence in yourself, and eventually you have to feel that you'll bust out of a slump.
Well, during the course of a major league season, there's going to be ebbs, there's going to be flows, there's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys, and what you have to do is just limit the valleys. And you have to keep an even keel. And I think Nick has done a very nice job of that. Even when he was really struggling, he never got down on himself. And because of that, he was able to pick himself up. And now he's had himself a decent season. Hitting .251. He's got 15 homers, and he's driven in 66.
It'll be Castellanos, Collins, and Holiday here in the 5th inning facing Josh Tomlin.
I mean, we always talk about all these young players that are in the major leagues, the Chris Bryants of the world, the Correas, the Lindors, and whatnot. We forget sometimes that our guy's only 23 years old, and he's got 66 RBIs.
Right, as he did last year as well. So he's ahead of his pace, well ahead of his pace for last year.
Had it not been for Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox, Castellanos would have gotten a lot more attention as a rookie.
Here's the 2-2. Missed inside. 3-2 now on Nick. Castellanos struck out in the second. 15 RBIs in his last 16 games.
Yan Gomes has some real nice leadership skills behind the plate.
High fly ball to center. It's going to be playable for Almonte. One gone. So the only 2 runners tonight for the Tigers, the Ghost single to start the game, and then the Martinez JD, that is, walk in the 4th. That's it. Tomlin just kind of bobbing and weaving his way through the Tiger lineup.
Yeah, he's only walked 1, and that's one of the things that you brought up when the game started, is the fact that in his 5 starts this year, he's only walked 3 batters. He's around the plate.
Tyler Collins now with 1 out. Looked like he went, and he did, says Doug Ennings. 9 fly ball outs for Tomlin in this game. That plays pretty well in this ballpark if you can keep it to center or right center. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball, second base side, Kipnis. 2 gone.
Here is our high-speed pitch, and it is brought to you by Xfinity. And perfect example that you do not have to have a mid-90s fastball to be successful. Tomlin's top heater this evening has topped out at 90 miles an hour. And that reading of 71, we just saw it to Tyler Collins on a curveball.
There's Brian Holiday. He also flied out in the 3rd, fly to center field. Monte's been busy out there in center. Little pop up back at second base. Kipnis goes to the grass. And Tomlin has himself a routine, easy 1-2-3 5th. For the Rockies, 2 more home runs right, and this guy is red hot right now.
In his last 50 games, Cargo has left the building 25 times. I don't think I've ever heard a stat like that. It's remarkable.
Well, how about guys that have hit 25 or more in a 50-game span? Here's the list of some of those guys. I mean, Barry Bonds is on that list. Sammy Sosa, Pujols.
And Albert and Ryan Howard. Some sluggers.
Pretty impressive, some of the stuff going on around the major leagues. So we've got a Wellside Windows pitching change, and Jeff Farrell is in now for the Tigers.
And 28 games in the minors for Farrell. He was pitching some pretty good baseball. 2.58 earned run average. The whip was under 1. 45 strikeouts and only 9 walks. So that plays well up here if Jeff continues to throw the ball over the plate.
He'll replace Verhagen as we go to the 6th inning, and the first one is up and in.
A little bit of a violent delivery And by Farrell, really pulling that left arm over toward first base to get that arm up top.
Second stint for Farrell in the big leagues this year. His debut was on the 4th of July here at Comerica Park against the Toronto Blue Jays. Allowed a couple of runs in 1 inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. 1-2 on Urshela. He'll be followed by Kipnis and then Lindor. The Indians sent 10 men to the plate when they scored 4 runs in the 5th. Here's the 1-2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And here's the Farrell delivery, and you can see that front arm really pulling down toward first base, and that gets that arm up top.
And he chased out of the strike zone there. Urshela is out. First time they retired him tonight.
And fastball looked good to Urshela. It stayed up in the strike zone. He swung right underneath it.
Here's Jason Kipnis. Ball 1 to Kipnis. Back up the middle, diving stab by Machado. It's short. What a play! Dixon Machado just back up from the minor leagues. Turns in a sparkling defensive play.
He was rated as the Tigers' best defensive shortstop the last number of years in the minor leagues. He's really put on some weight this year, and the bat has really come, but he can really catch that baseball from the shortstop position. How about that dive?
Really nice play, and a ball that was smoked off the bat of Jason Kipnis.
Looked like it was headed right back up the middle.
Here's Francisco Lindor. He's had a nice night tonight. Single, a double. He has scored a run. Bouncing ball right side, and that's going to be a fair ball. Miggy has it. He'll tag the bag for the out. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Jeff Farrell. Nicely done. Little help from Dixon Machado along the way. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Well, the Tigers have some work to do. They are down by a score of 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. They've not been able to get a whole lot going as Dixon Machado leads it off. And he'll take ball 1 from the right-hander Josh Tomlin. Only one hit allowed so far by Tomlin tonight. A single by Ghost in the first. Machado rips it fair down the third base line. That'll go to the corner. Bang up against the wall. He's got himself a double, and he'll hold there with a two-base hit. So Machado is aboard to start things off.
And Machado made a really nice defensive play last half inning and taking a base hit away from Kipnis. And then he turns on a fastball right by Urshela.
That is Machado's second major league hit. And we'll see if that jump starts the Tigers offense. The first Tiger in scoring position tonight.
And so far, the starter for the Tribe, Tomlin, 13 of 18 in first pitch strikes. And Tigers can be a little bit more aggressive on first pitches.
Goes a single and a strikeout. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. Anthony had a two-hit game in KC last night, his 26th multi-hit game of the year. Trying for one here again tonight. And a ball outside, 1-1. Just the second hit allowed by Tomlin. In fact, the only other Tigers runner was a walk to J.D. Martinez. One and two now on Ghost, who shakes his head and gives Adrian Johnson a crooked look.
And I think Anthony thought that breaking ball was up.
Here's the 1-2. Checked it low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tomlin's a guy that's been injured a lot in his career. In fact, he's been on the disabled list 5 times. He's had Tommy John surgery. Had a shoulder problem earlier this year, which put him on the DL. All right, now he's going to have to navigate through the top of the Tigers lineup here with a 6-0 lead. Here's the 2-2 coming home. Swing and a miss to strike him out. Ghost is out of there. 1 gone. Time for a game break now. Matt Shepard. Well, and the Orioles, you can see where they stand right now. They certainly are apparently out of the race as far as the division is concerned, but certainly alive in the wild card.
Yeah, they're really flexing their muscles tonight in Toronto.
Kinsler sends a high fly ball to right field, fairly deep to the warning track. Jerry Sands hauls it in. Machado tags up and dives into third. 2 gone now. Well, here's what it looks like in the wild card. And you see Baltimore is 6.5 out, so it's a long shot, but they're still kicking.
Cleveland is a half a game in front of Baltimore, but Cleveland has not been good in interleague, playing within the division this year. And pretty much the remainder of the Tribe's games this year, with the exception of the final 3 against the Boston Red Sox, are against the American League Central. So if they're going to get there, they've got to get better within their division.
Now Cabrera with 2 outs. Ball 1 low. Tomlin has gotten Cabrera twice. Pop up and a strikeout. Miggy is due.
And Miggy talking to Yan Gomes, talking about the stuff that Tomlin has today. Fastball moving all over the place, Miguel told their catcher. Miguel just trying to set him up, though.
Line drive, base hit left field. That'll get the run in. As Machado comes around to score, it's an RBI single for Cabrera in a 6-1 ball game.
And Tomlin tried to sneak that heater inside against Miguel, and he left it up and out over the plate, and Miggy ripped it and right past Urshela.
So the Tigers finally get on the board. It was looking like, again, they would get a leadoff double with nobody out and then not score. They did that a couple of times in Kansas City. They had runners in scoring position, nobody out. This time they come through, though, with a 2-out hit. And JD looks at a strike. That, by the way, was Cabrera's 200th career hit against the Indians. And it seems like 195 of them.
He's worn them out, man. He has absolutely worn them out since putting on a Tigers uniform.
Tomlin's 0-1 pitch. Way out front, 0-2. Tigers now been out hit 8-3. Here's the 0-2. He stayed away, and Martinez would not bite.
He has not gone inside in this particular at-bat yet to J.D. Martinez. And possibly that last breaking ball away was to set up this pitch, which would be inside.
And it drilled to center field. Well, Monte's going to get over there, though, and that's going to be it for the Tigers. They get a run, their first of the ball game, and the RBI hit by Miguel Cabrera.
And leading off for the Tribe right now is going to be Michael Brantley, and Brantley is the next closest thing to winning the American League batting title, right behind Miguel Cabrera. Of course, Cabrera with about a 40-point cushion, but the Cleveland Indians actually have 2 of the top 5 chasing it down for that batting title, with Jason Kipnis also in there as well. And I had a chance to talk to Terry Francona before the game, and I said, hey, what about the stabilizing influence that those guys are on a lot of the influx of the young guys he had brought in? And he said, hey, those guys get it done every day. But it also works the other way. When you talk about the Francisco Lindors, the Abraham Almontes, and Giovanni Urshela, those guys provide a lot of energy. And when those guys show the passion to win, that they fit right in to the clubhouse that he leads. And now they're on the verge of winning maybe the 10th of their last 14, guys.
All right, Johnny, thanks. That one is driven in the air to right field. Circling under it is J.D. Martinez, and Brantley is out. They got him that time. Brantley had a double to not get a run in the 5th. My money, though, is still on Miguel Cabrera to win the batting title.
Yeah, I'm with you. It'll be his 4th in the last 5 years, which is simply remarkable.
Well, it's going to be Santana now with 1 out. They will play the shift on against Santana, opening up the left side of the infield. Santana was walked intentionally to load the bases in the 5th, but then Verhagen hit Gomes to force in a run. Here's a strike called.
Santana walks a lot anyway. He's already been walked 84 times this year, and every single season he's right up there amongst the leaders in the American League in free passes.
Ooh, had to skip out of the way of that one from Farrell. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeff Farrell came on in the 6th inning, got him 1, 2, 3, so he's retired 4 in a row now for the Tigers. Santana's 2nd in the American League in walks. Pulls that one foul. Nothing new here for Carlos, huh?
Nope. Joey Votto, he tops that list. I heard some numbers on Votto a couple of days ago. Man, his on base percentage after the All-Star break is over like 560 or something.
What?
Crazy.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, Santana, his batting average came in at 233.
They still believe he's a much better hitter than what he has displayed in the major leagues. He's a switch hitter with power. He's got a dangerous bat, but he just doesn't get it done with runners in scoring position.
Well, you wonder how long it's going to take if they finally, or he finally realizes the type of hitter they feel he can be. Because Santana's been in the big league since 2010.
Yeah, he might just be what he is.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
No switch hitter has hit more home runs than Santana in a Cleveland uniform.
Now Farrell ready with the 2-2. Didn't go. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You can throw him a breaking ball here, and if you locate it, you can get a swing and miss. You don't have to try to overpower him with a fastball here. Changeup, good call.
Swing and a foul. Got a piece of it. Indians got 2 in the 3rd and then 4 more in the 5th. That remains the biggest inning of this game. They raced out to a 6-0 lead. The Tigers got 1 back in the 6th inning. And Santana takes another walk. 1 on, 1 out. They'll support breast health awareness and Pick Out the Park on September 18th. The Tigers host the Royals at 7:08 p.m. Get a ticket plus a special Pick Out the Park t-shirt by purchasing at tigers.com/pickout. Royals coming to town on that next homestand.
It's a 2-game? Oh no, it is.
I think it's 3.
Yeah, we missed one. It's a national game one day.
Correct. High pop-up, foul ground, first base side, and back into the seats. Yan Gomes hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the 5th inning, forcing in a run. Verhagen and Farrell have come out of the bullpen tonight for the Tigers in place of Kyle Lobstein, who was lifted in the 5th. Here's the 0-1. Slice to right field. That is going to get down. Fair ball. JD picks it up in the corner. Santana will go to 3rd. And the Indians are threatening again. 2 on, 1 out.
It's a nice swing here by Yan Gomes. It's a fastball that tailed in on his hands at 93. Also, a really nice job in right field by J.D. Martinez getting over to cut that ball off and then getting it back to second base to keep the double play in order for Farrell.
So Lonnie Chisenhall will pinch hit now. They'll bring the lefty off the bench.
And Terry Francona going to try to score as many runs as he can tonight against the Tigers, knowing that the Tigers really in the last couple of years has absolutely dominated his team. In the last 20 meetings, the Tigers have won 16 of them.
That qualifies as dominating. 0-1 on Chisenhall, batting .260. And missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson was 0 for 3 before departing and giving away to Chisenhall. Tigers getting back on the telephone now.
And Chisenhall was outstanding last year. And it began the season backing up Santana, who was given a third base job. And Santana was moved back to first, and Chisenhall played third, and he had a great year.
He'll drive that one deep into right center field. That looks like trouble. It's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. This will get 2 more runs in. Chisenhall will stop at second with a pinch hit 2-run double. And the Indians now lead 8-1.
That's a changeup thrown by Farrell that stayed up long enough for Chisenhall to get underneath it. And all Lonnie was really trying to do was hit a fly ball anyway, and he was rewarded with a double. And no problem for Gomes to come all the way around from first to score.
So that'll make it an even 10 hits now for the Indians in this game. They've lengthened their lead to 8-1. We'll bring up Belmonte. Still only 1 out of the inning. Swing and a miss.
This Indians team, Mario, looks nothing like the Indians team that we saw earlier in the year. That Indians team was really struggling from an offensive standpoint.
I think you brought up a great point earlier in how some of these new players could infuse a little bit of enthusiasm. I mean, they had guys like Swisher and Bourne, and neither of those guys really performed, I think, up to the potential or the levels that the Indians thought they would.
Even Brandon Moss, who they traded for.
Yeah.
Murphy, they signed him as a free agent a couple of off seasons ago. He wasn't that good in an Indians uniform either.
The 0-2 is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Almonte.
Indians also lost Mark Shapiro.
Good
long-time front office executive, has gone on to the Toronto Blue Jays to lead their organization.
Terry Francona remains, though, and his team plays pretty good baseball down the stretch. That's a fair ball. Miggy will shovel to Farrell, covering for the out. Advance the runner to third with 2 away. Now Jerry Sands. Sands a 2-run shot to get the Indians off and running. That was back in the 3rd. Tripled and scored in the 5th inning. He'll try and get a run in here with 2 outs. Already 8-1 Cleveland. Strike 1. There is action. Valdez starting to warm up in the Detroit bullpen. He was called up today. I mentioned all the innings the Tigers pitched on the road trip, over 22, so they needed some reinforcements. Farrell has come up. Valdez has come up.
It's been a revolving door in the Tigers bullpen. And it pretty much started with the departure of Jabba Chamberlain.
Well, I would say one of the main problems the Tigers have had this year as far as pitching is concerned is that they really haven't had anybody settle into roles. Towering fly ball foul to left field.
Yeah, which is very unusual for the month of September.
One ball, two strikes. Farrell has allowed a single, a walk, and a pinch hit double. Checked it, and he did not go. Awfully close. Hunter Weddle set down at first base. He held up.
Yeah, he checked it.
This will be the 25th pitch coming up now from Farrell. And the 2-2. Another foul down the right field line.
Menards brings you the big money encounter. We told you that Jerry Sands has had a nice year against Tigers pitching. In the third inning, he got himself a changeup at the bottom of the strike zone and went down to get it and got his team on the board first with a 2-run shot.
Number 3 for Sands on the year at the major league level. That's a ground ball right at the first baseman. Sharply hit. Miggy makes the play. And that'll take care of the Indians in the 7th. They played 2 more, and they lead it now 8-1.
Been good in his 5 starts since coming off the disabled list, just kind of moving that fastball all over the strike zone, flipping an occasional really slow breaking ball up there about 74 miles an hour. A lot of lazy flyouts today off Tigers bats. Tomlin has just gotten it done. Only run the Tigers have scored came last half inning.
And so it's 8-1 now as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here at the ballpark. And Tomlin will face Victor Martinez, Nick Castellanos, and Tyler Collins.
And something else that Tomlin has done very well here tonight. He is 17 of 23 in first pitch strikes.
Ground ball right into the shift. Kipnis is on the outfield grass, and he'll throw him out. 1 gone here in the 7th. Indians had it played perfectly there.
81 pitches thrown so far. And by Tomlin, he has pitched in no stress whatsoever.
Castellanos a single and a fly ball. I take it back, a strikeout and a fly ball. The single belongs to Gose, and the double belongs to Machado. 2 of the 3 Tigers hits. There's a foul back to the screen.
How about us getting an opportunity to meet Paul Simon?
Is that cool or what?
Up here before the game, along with Jack White.
Jack White was in the hallway, and he sees me and says, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my friend Paul." And I look down and it's Paul Simon.
Yeah, Paul took the shades off though.
There's my buddy Paul. Well, what a thrill meeting Paul Simon and Jack White at the ballpark. No balls, 2 strikes. Big timers in the house tonight.
Sweet shirt Jack's got on.
Paul here with his sons. Yeah, Jack's always styling. We know that Jack White is a huge, and I mean huge, Tigers fan.
Yeah.
We saw him in St. Louis earlier this year when Miggy hit his 400th home run. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Castellanos.
That last fastball straightened Castellanos up.
And he got him, strike 3. Castellanos caught looking.
Of the total 86 pitches that Tomlin has thrown here tonight, 80% of them have been fastballs. It's the cutter here. At about 84 miles an hour, it's a cut fastball, but 80% of the pitches he's thrown today have been fastballs to all 4 quadrants of the strike zone.
Well, wasn't expecting this tonight out of Josh Tomlin. I mean, the Tigers have handled him rather easily in the past. Here's the liner right to the second baseman. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing happening in the 7th, which means we go to the 8th. All right, boys, thank you very much. Jose Valdez is coming into the ball game now. He'll pitch for the Tigers.
3.32 ERA for Valdez down in the minor leagues this year.
It is an 8-1 ball game as we go to the 8th inning. And it'll be Urshela to lead it off. He bounces one towards second. That'll be played by Kinsler, and one gone. Interesting conversation the boys were having. The best power hitter in the game right now. There's a lot of guys I guess you could put in. Don't forget Donaldson is having a big year.
Yeah, he's having a great year. There's no doubt about that. I think the guy that has the most power is the guy that's probably on the disabled list right now, and that would be Stanton of the Miami Marlins. But those other guys, Cruz, big power. Obviously, Davis has huge power. J.D. Martinez also has huge power.
Chris Davis, 40 of them now, and I think J.D. with a little bit of a hot finish here could get the 40. He needs 6 more.
Also that rookie in Chicago, Chris Bryant, who got a late start this year. He's closing in on 30 big flies.
Oh, and 1 the count on Kipnis, who swings and misses. Oh, and 2 on Kipnis. Hit a ball hard his last time up, straight up the middle. Diving play by Machado robbed him of a hit. 0-2 the count stays. So the Tigers have the bullpen in this game. They've used Verhagen. Farrell went 2 innings, and now Valdez here in the 8th.
It's been a continuing theme in the last 10 days or so. And Brad has had to make a lot of strolls out to the mound. And he's had to make a lot of calls to that bullpen.
Here's the 0-2. That'll bounce in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eight runs on 10 hits for the Indians. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers tonight. They've just been baffled by Josh Tomlin.
That's the correct word, too. Baffled.
Here's the 1-2. Pulled right at Miggy. 2 gone. Well, we've got an update on Jose Iglesias. This is what happened last night at KC. And the initial x-ray, Rod, as you mentioned, sometimes you just can't tell. Well, it came back negative, but we've been told tonight it's a non-displaced fracture of his middle finger.
Yep.
And so he'll be out 2 weeks before they will reevaluate him.
Yeah, it did not look good last night in the way that he was carrying that right hand around last evening, trying to get dressed, really trying to do anything. He could not use the hand at all.
Lindor slaps one in the air to center field, backing up his ghosts. And Valdez has himself a 1-2-3 8th inning.
It's tough news for Iglesias.
8-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th here at Comerica Park. And as promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Detroit Strong Fan, Data Strong Fan, for a chance to have it featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Again, that hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan.
Some Tiger fans all geared up.
Having a good time, Beard. There's a strike called on Brian Holiday as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Another first pitch strike for Tomlin, who's done a lot of that this evening. I'm not so sure Tomlin can pitch any better than he's pitched here today.
His only blemish, the 2-out single by Cabrera to drive in a run.
He is now 20 of 26 in the first pitch strikes category.
At one point he had retired 11 straight in the middle of this ball game, actually early on to the middle innings. That'll get back out of play.
And really, Tomlin is doing something here tonight that he's done in his first 4 starts since coming off the disabled list. He is holding the opposing hitters to a 188 clip coming into play today in his first 4 starts of this season.
Now the 1-2. Holiday skies one in the air to center field. Almonte, man, he's been busy all night. This one's going to send him to the warning track. 1 out.
Here's our 1-800 call Sam calling the game. Dixon Machado was taken out of the game in Toledo last night when Iglesias was hit with that fastball from Volquez, and boy, he's made his presence known. Outstanding play, robbing Jason Kipnis of a single up the middle, and then he doubled. And to lead off that next half inning, he came home to score the only run of the game on a double by Miguel Cabrera.
Machado batting with the bases empty, looks at a strike.
Single by Miguel Cabrera, excuse me.
Almonte, their center fielder, by the way, now has 6 putouts.
Yeah, he's been busy.
Tomlin now with the 0-1. And Machado sends a ground ball, this time right at Urshela. 2 up, 2 down.
Urshela at third base can play some defense. They really love his defensive skills, and if he hits, he could be their third baseman for a number of years, but he's going to have to hit. Defensively, no problem playing third base here.
Here's Anthony Gose. We're talking about how good Tomlin's been tonight. Coming into this start, his career ERA versus the Tigers was 7.67. Anthony looks at a ball outside. 10 appearances against the Tigers, but tonight it's been a much different story. Gose sends a ground ball to second, charging Kipnis. That's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Tomlin. 8 in the books here at Comerica, all Cleveland tonight. been all Cleveland. They've out-hit the Tigers 10-3. It's been the Josh Tomlin show tonight. And Jerry Sands had a big night as well. 2-run homer and a triple to lead the way for the Indians, who are batting now in the 9th inning. Michael Brantley will start things off. And the first one to Brantley is a strike call. This is a telling stat. Tigers pitchers tonight have thrown 149, make it 150 now. 150 pitches. And Cleveland's Tomlin just 95.
Yeah.
One of those nights where Tomlin's had it all working tonight. There's a ball down low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Brantley. Brantley, Santana, Gomes. These are the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Terry Francona. 2-1 the count. Same 2 teams tomorrow. In fact, the next 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. And then Tampa comes in. Alfredo Simon will be opposed by Danny Salazar tomorrow. Ripped right past the second baseman Kinsler into right field. Second hit for Brantley. Don't forget to follow the Tigers all season in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with live look-ins, replay, reviews, StatCast, radio broadcast, and a whole lot more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet. Michael Martinez now coming on a pinch run down at first base. So Brantley is done for the night. Carlos Santana takes ball 1. That was the 11th hit for the Indians this evening. Now the 1-0.
Yeah, it appears that Tigers pitching, at least for the last 10 days or so, giving up a double-digit in hits every night.
Problem is, and we've talked about this over and over, Ron, the fact that the starters have not been able to get much past the 4th, 5th, 6th inning some nights. That's about it.
No.
There's a bouncing ball left side of the infield. Machado to second 1. That's going to be a double play.
I mean, there was a time where they had David Price, and you knew Price would go out and give you 7, give you 8, many nights give you 9. Sanchez, although he hasn't had the kind of year this year that we're accustomed to, usually he gives you 6 or 7. Of course, Verlander 2 now that he's healthy, so they just don't have that. They're not getting that length. Therefore, that bullpen is it's kind of beat up right now, even though rosters have expanded.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. At least rosters have expanded a little bit where you can carry a few more guys, but still. 2 gone, and here is Yan Gomes.
Six consecutive games the Tigers have given up double-digit, at least double-digit in hits. Last night, Kansas City had 20.
Man. Gomes has a hit by pitch and a single. He has also picked up an RBI in the 1-0 pitch. He'll dive in for a strike. 1-1.
Valdez has a nice little slider. He's topped out at 95 with his fastball, and that last slider at 83 miles an hour, so that's about a 12-mile-per-hour differential in speeds. There it is again, that slide piece.
That one looked nasty.
And take a look at this slider coming out of his hand. It stayed on the fastball plane all the way until about the last 4 or 5 feet, and then Yan Gomes decided to swing at it, and that baseball no longer was there.
2-2 the count.
He's got him set up for a fastball here. A well-located fastball will get strike 3. But it kind of looks like he likes that slider, doesn't it?
Sure does.
See what Brian puts down. Fastball.
And he just got a piece, staying alive. 2-2 on Yan Gomes. 8 runs, 11 hits for the Indians. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers tonight. Tomlin 95 pitches to get through 8 innings this evening. There is strike 3 called. Gomes caught looking to end the ninth. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth here at Comerica. 8-1 Cleveland. Is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Tigers down to their final 3 outs. They trail 8-1 in this ball game. And, well, what more can you say about Josh Tomlin? He's had it working tonight.
He is looking to pitch his 3rd complete game of his career. The last time he pitched a complete game, it was last year in September.
Michael Martinez will stay in the game and play left with Brantley out of the game. Now Tomlin goes to work facing Ian Kinsler here in the 9th inning. Kinsler sends it high in the air and deep into left center field. Almonte going back. Man, oh man, he's been running all night, and he tracks that one down. 1 away. Time to check in now with Johnny King with a preview of what's coming up on Tigers Live.
Well, guys, I'll be heading inside the Tigers clubhouse certainly to talk to the guys about what Josh Tomlin had working so well tonight, as he did a great job. Obviously, he was doing a great job of silencing the Tigers' bats. Also talk to Kyle Lobstein about his most recent start since coming back. We'll bring you the manager's press conference, that, of course, being Brad Ausmus. And back in the Coliseum studios, that's Matt Shepard and Craig Monroe. So a lot to get to tonight, and you got to put those rally caps on firm right now, guys. Back up to you.
All right, Johnny, thanks. Well, it's going to be Cabrera here with 1 out. Miggy responsible for the only Tigers run, an RBI single in the 6th. Here's the 1-0, and it's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Cabrera 1 for 3. He's knocked in 68 now. Two-0 pitch popped up. First base side, and there are 2 gone. So Tomlin now is 1 out away from a complete game victory here.
78% of the 99 pitches that Tomlin has thrown today have been fastballs, and not one fastball above 90 miles an hour. 78%.
It's a pretty good lesson in how you can win at this level without 95, 96. There's a ground ball left side, deep in the hole, Lindor. Long throw. It's going to be an infield hit.
And really what he's done with his fastball, even though it's at 90 and it's not overpowering, he has basically thrown his fastball to all 4 quadrants of the strike zone, up and in, up and away, down and in, and also down and away, which basically gives him 4 different fastballs. And when you add in the cutter and the life that he has on that pitch, Tigers just have not been able to do much against Tomlin.
He has hit 100 for the night. 106 is his season high.
Most stressful inning was 17 pitches.
JD keeps it going with an infield hit. Cody Allen warming up. More like watching the action and then throwing a pitch or two every now and then.
Francona ain't messing around. He got his closer up.
Apparently not. The 7-run game in the ninth with 2 outs. Taking no chances. There's a strike called on Victor Martinez. 0 for 3 tonight for Victor. Playing him to pull. That's how they played him all night. Kipnis in short right field. Here's the 0-1. Whistle the other way, 0-2. So Tomlin now trying to shut this one down. Here comes the 0-2 to Victor Martinez. Missed it high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, there are a lot of experts out there this year that really picked the Cleveland Indians to get all the way to the World Series because of their starting rotation. And guys like Kluber and Salazar, Carrasco. But they got off to a slow start.
They've got some power arms, to be sure. Trevor Bauer is in that mix as well.
I was trying to think of him. I know I left one out.
And down goes Martinez. And that is the ball game.
Straight mastery tonight by Josh Tomlin.
So Tomlin goes the distance, and the Indians win game 1 in the series. Final score from Comerica, 8-1. We'll be back.